to those who stare down the vacation cold and say, nope.
All right, folks, it is 10 p.m. It is the Midnight Run, the Crosby tribute. And I'll tell you right now, folks, if there was a time to drink, it would be today. Awesome musician there, you know, awesome musician. And then I hear that he passed away. Man, it's a huge loss there, folks. Uh, I grew up with him when I was a kid, listened to all his music. I mean, definitely going to miss him, but I want to welcome everyone to the show. As always, it's that VINCE there. James, we had to cut out the music there because I got copyright hits on it there. So I had to go back to my other stuff. So can't do the Sanford and Son anymore, I'm afraid. And I see Lake has already started off with eating a rotisserie and smoking pot there. So protein bar, a week bench is probably about 135 pounds, but it's dependent upon your body weight there. With a relative body weight and muscle definition, you should be able to pull a general amount of weight. So, folks, tell me what you are drinking and smoking tonight. So, tonight I actually have some Cavados. Now, folks, in case y'all don't know what Cavados is, it's brandy, but it's not made with grapes. It's made with apples and pear, and this here is a VSOP. Now, typically, any brandy that I get is gonna be an XO, but the VSOP for this brand is a whole lot better. So, yeah, got that. Got a nice Nicaraguan cigar, coffee, water, even got aspirin too, I've been hitting it pretty hard lately. A whole bunch of pull-ups here and train the legs a day, so I'm pretty sore. So, folks, tell me what you are drinking and smoking, and we'll begin with some Q&A there. Yes, indeed. Yeah, the RoboCop, all of them were good, and I thought I wouldn't get hit with it, but unfortunately, like I said before, YouTube is cracking down on a lot of stuff there, and there's not much I can really do about it there. But the music isn't so much part of the show. It's just, we're going to always still be drinking and smoking and joking and everything like that. Just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is here. You got bourbon and Newports, and well, you're going to have to pick one, James. You want to stick with one. You don't want to mix all that stuff around. I definitely understand that, Gilmore. You got to... happy wife, happy life, Oh, boy. Yeah, good old Crosby. I would love the place. I mean, oh, boy. Folks, if you guys get an opportunity, put on some good old Crosby. I'm telling you right now. Put some on there, Lenny and Goodrum in the morning. I don't think that would be a good idea because I wake up pretty late. I usually work until 2 or 3 in the morning. Last night I worked till 3 in the morning. I prefer working very late at night and sleeping throughout the day, That's just the type of person I am. So Lenny and Goodrum in the morning wouldn't work. I don't even think Big Lenny wakes up that early, but I could be wrong, so... What's up, Serratus? Hope you're doing well. Lamar, you just dropped in. All right. Who else we got? Andrew, what's up, man? Oh, just a little depressed because lost a great musician there recently. So it is what it is. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pour myself a nice glass of Cabados. Here's to Crosby. Yep. At least we still got his music there. I don't know why people keep asking about the weight there. It's going to fluctuate because I take Thorazide, so I look more at body fat percentage there than actual weight. So let's go ahead and get the lights, get the cigar lighted. Ben Crosby? Come on, man. David Crosby. Oh, God. Ah. Have I ever had Little Caesars? Yes, only. But I absolutely hate the stuff. It's too salty. It's got way too much sodium in it. Always tasted like a salt lick to me. That's just my opinion. I'm not running low on booze or anything like that. I've just cut everything down, you know. Like I said, I'm not doing any more work meetings, not inviting people over anything. There's no more COVID. So there's no reason to keep all that liquor around. Most of the liquor I kept around was during COVID, which is why I had so much, because you couldn't go out to bars. Well, Lamar, I've had good cheap pizza before. It's just Little Caesars is kind of salty. The best pizza in the area, I think, is Wedgies. Whenever I got back to Greenville, I ate that all the time. But I don't eat much pizza anymore. But I don't eat large pizzas anymore. I'll eat a lot less food than I used to. And that's just part of my family structure. As we get older in the Goodrum family, we tend to eat a lot less. And it just keeps going down and down. And each year I just eat less and less. I always liked CSNC better. It was always a good show. Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to the Bills. Hopefully the Cowboys get a new. They brought someone from the practice squad. They brought him on the practice squad, but he's going to be eligible probably by 4 o'clock today, or excuse me, tomorrow, if not already today. So he'll be kicking in his place there because I mean 1 out of 5 that's just not going to work. No, I'm not watching the UFC pay per view. I'm not sure if some of you guys know, but I set up my own cell phone company and I just got approved for my new supplier for all my cell phone accessories. So I'll be working on that tomorrow mostly. I also need to start setting up backlinks. Oh, by the way, I've decided not to just take another month or two off from going back to work there. It's not like I don't need this. I don't need the money or anything like that, but I just had some extra activities that came up there, so Another 2 months here, so no rush or anything. Well, that all depends, Broteen. I drink some pretty expensive stuff there. But yeah, that's the purpose of a bar, you know. The reason why there's so many bars is because there's a huge profit markup, you know. Bars make money there off of very little, you know. You have a cranberry vodka and they charge you $6. They'll only put maybe like 40 cents of vodka in there because they buy it in bulk. They toss a little tab of cranberry juice, for example. So there's a super markup. That's why bars are very common, you know. That's why. And then your bartenders get tips, so you don't have to pay them that much neither. So owning a bar is probably it's really hard to screw up having a bar. You know, it's hard to screw up owning a bar. If it's in a good location, you're gonna make money. You know. No, Andrew, I've never dated someone like that. And no, I never went to an HBU, Lamar. As people know, I went to ITT Technical Institute, and I also went to Ashworth College. In high school, I did go to Mars Hill College during the summertime and took summer courses. But other than that, I've never been to an HBCU, never toured one or anything. Uh, it wasn't part of my consideration. Hmm. David Crosby, folks, come on. I mean, there's times to joke around, but you know, this is David Crosby, folks. Come on. I mean, I'm really broke up about that. That's why I didn't make any videos yesterday. You know, just sat around listening to his music and everything. You know. When's the last time I've gotten blacked out drunk? Maybe about 20 years ago. It it's just not one of my things anymore. You have to consider that was right around the beginning of me starting to compete in bodybuilding, and by the time that all ended, you know, I had just grown out of stupid stuff like that. Well, as you know, ITT Tech Jump Tube was a scam. So that definitely didn't help me out. I already had the chops of it. The Ashworth College helped me out in becoming a personal trainer. But I'll be honest with you, I don't really use any of these degrees at this point in time other than the Ashworth one, as far as passing on my fitness knowledge and everything like that. You have to remember, you can always have a degree, but you have to build an education beyond that. The degree is only a foundation. From that foundation, you have to go out on your own and build the house here, you know. Otherwise, you can't live on just the foundation. A lot of people do that to where, hey, I got an English degree and stuff like that, or a business degree. You can have a business degree, but if you don't own a business, then you're just left with a foundation. So just remember that your real education starts out in the real world, not in a book and not in a school. Well, the government always tells the truth that they're going to lie. So, honestly, I don't know why any little green aliens would come visit us anyway. I mean, look how, I mean, really. I think they're out there. I just think they don't want to speak with us right now. James will squash the beef once conservative Cuban gets involved in the bodybuilding and fitness industry. When he gets involvement in it, I'll be perfectly fine, but he's just a hanger-on, in other words, you know. He has no involvement in fitness and bodybuilding, and that's one thing that always pisses me off there. Richard's twerking again. Let's see what we got here. Always him and his shenanigans. Let's see what we got that he's doing. Big Lenny is on too. Man. Happy Healthy Vegans on live. Looks like everybody's on live tonight. Raul, how you doing there? Yes, anyone can join the live stream. You just have to be subscribed for 1 minute. And I said it that way just to keep spam out of my channel. But yeah, it looks like everybody's on tonight doing live streams, so tell those folks over there to come over to my live stream. Honestly, I'm surprised Lenny is on. It's kind of late for him live streaming. But anyway, on with the questions. But as far as Cuban is concerned, when he gets involved in the bodybuilding industry, then there won't be any beef at all. Until then, he's Egon Spangler, you know, to me, you know. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! I don't have a favorite Big Lenny quote at all there, because he said a whole bunch of quotes there that, you know, it just, you know. I mean, if there was one, maybe say no to drugs, trust me. Protein Bra, I made $150 an hour whenever I was a personal trainer, but that was only when I was training at home in Thornblade. Now, Thornblade in South Carolina, it's near the Michelin headquarters in Greenville. It's where the wealthy people live. I had to charge $150 because if I charged $30, they wouldn't sign it up. You have to understand, wealthy people want to brag in this neighborhood. They usually like bragging about their trainers, and they brag to their friends as far as to how much they're paying who. So if I had to basically charge a high tab there in this case. But for everybody else, generally it was like $30 an hour, you know. That was pretty cheap there, you know. And then I didn't have to travel to their homes or anything. A lot of those old ladies wanted the get down with the brown, you know. Get on the soul pole. But good question. When it comes to being a personal trainer, you charge according to the market. I've not done any workout videos because I've been busy setting up the cell phone company and setting up my channels here. Doesn't mean I'm not working out or anything. It's just I haven't had time to film anything. But I'll get back to it. Richard, he's probably weighing the same amount I am. I don't know. Well, actually, he probably weighs a lot more because he's about 4 inches higher than me. But if I had to take a guess, he's probably pushing about 280 pounds, 280 to 300 possibly. Just a shot in the dark based upon his height and his body fat percentage from what it looks like. At least the pictures that they've sent me. But I can be totally off from that. When I went to his channel, he wasn't twerking, but, you know. I didn't come here to watch him shake his butt. I came here to answer the questions for the piss troopers and all the people that decide to tune in there, you know. Mm. It probably does, jump tube. YouTube makes a lot of money off of me, and the way YouTube revenue goes and works is they take a bunch of dollars and they toss it up to the ceiling, and whatever sticks to it is what I get to keep. Well, the vegan there was always the vegan trend will never die out, but the extreme veganism is taking over, sort of like Black Lives Matter. You see, you used to have the NAACP, you know, peaceful marches and everything like that. Then Black Lives Matter comes along. Next thing you know, everything's going to hell in the handbasket, you know. Everything's going to extreme nowadays. You know, that's our culture, but good question. I mean, I'll probably do a collab with Big Lenny one day. That's sometime in the future. And I'll probably debate vegan gains again, but right now I have a number of tasks that I have to do, you know. You have to remember, I don't get paid from YouTube or anything like that. Not that it really makes a difference or anything. It's just the time, in order to do a collaboration, everyone has to be together all at the same time, you know. And my schedule is kind of wonky right now. Well, JumpTube, I'm just taking a guess. He can be a lot lower in weight than that, you know. Protein bra, you should say, get a hold of the soul pole. That one's gonna work better than to get down with the brown. So get down with the brown. Take a hold of the soul pole. Yes, sir. Let the church say amen. Say it one more time. Amen. Mm. Ah. You goddamn right David Crosby was a legend. Mm. And folks, I'm really broke up against this. I love David Crosby, you know. Who couldn't love David Crosby, you know? Great musician, great. Raul, not as of yet. In the future. The Fourth Horseman, that's gonna be up in the air, you know, really. Andrew, I'm not drunk at all. I'm just tired. Tired and drinking, actually. I mean, I did legs today. I hate doing legs, but you gotta get legs in. Even with the soak in the hot tub and the sauna, I am sore. And I'm running low on cigars on top of that, so. I like black pepper chips. They're pretty good. No, not Hemingway JumpTube. He's not part of the apocalypse. He's not even part of YouTube anymore. Folks, Blaha's gone to Facebook, folks. I mean, I'm just going to tell you right now. He's Facebook now. He's not even YouTube. I'm not flamboyant there. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. I want to talk to you guys about... I'm sure you guys read in the news about the Zulocks, right? About what they did to that gay couple that adopted those kids and went and pimped them out to a bunch of pedophiles. Folks, Tell me in the comments as far as to whether they should be hung, set on fire, or should they just be beaten with a rubber hose? Let the great one know what should happen to these pieces of garbage. So should they be strung up? Should they been set on fire? Should they been beat? Y'all, Zulox. I may be pronouncing their last names wrong. They, a couple of friends of mine are friends with them or were friends. Y'all got to go on Fox News or so forth or Town Hall. It was reported back in August, but everything's now picked up. Ooh, Blood Eagle. Good one, Protein Bra. That's not enough punishment, James. That's not enough punishment. And that makes our community look bad, you know, when you have people like that. Bad actors, you know. And I'm sure what the police need to do is they need to chase down every single one of them pedophiles there. That's for sure. Because there's some sort of network. There's always been some sort of network. And you know, there was a couple of pictures of them talking about going out for pizza. Now, folks, pizza is code word for pedophiles there, just to let you know, you know. And now, I'm not talking about Chuck E. Cheese Ranch. He's a great piss trooper, but, you know, I hope you understand that when you hear someone talk about pizza a whole bunch of times, they're probably a pedo, you know. Just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is. You got to watch out for them people, you know. Protein, it doesn't matter. That's the thing about Facebook. Have you seen Phil Heath's Facebook? All he posts is viral videos for the most part, and occasionally he'll post a picture of his arm. But most of it is viral videos. And the same with Sean Ray. Well, JC, Facebook is paying a whole lot more money. They're charging me less for Facebook ads, so I've actually cut off some of my Google ads, and I've moved to Facebook ads. My Facebook ads are way more effective, and I spend a whole lot less. Yes, sir, the die has been cast. Facebook is taking over things here. It don't make no difference. I'm still going to get my AdSense revenue. I'm still going to do Google advertising. I'm still going to do YouTube videos. I'm still going to do YouTube live streams. But I'm just letting you know what the future is going to be, you know. Just saying. Chuck pissed off Cuban tonight. How did he do that? No, not Chuck E. Cheese Ranch. Like I say, he's a great piss trooper. I like him. You know? But pizza is code word for pedophiles. And chances are there's probably other things out there like teddy bears, so. But they need to chase down every single person that was associated with them, because I'm sure that they're not the only ones here. Well, Athens, Facebook has a monopoly, Google has a monopoly, Amazon has a monopoly. You know, I've recently been opening back up my e-commerce businesses. You see, Amazon pretty much took everything out. The only thing they couldn't take out is my medical business, because they couldn't sell medical supplies at the time. But I closed up Caliber Fitness, I closed up my Well of Mimir, I closed up all my other stuff because I was just losing money. I couldn't beat their prices. They were undercutting prices. Now that they can't do that shit anymore, that's why I opened everything back up. This is including my new cell phone company as well. Cellular Cowboy. And we're going to probably do a couple of more stores too, possibly. Like I said, I just got my deal with the supplier. This store is not going to be built on OpenCart. It's going to be built on WooCommerce, so it's going to cost a little more. I'm just going to test it out. It's a good way to test it. Good fella, nobody should be using poppers. This stuff is dangerous. It'll mess up your heart. Where did I go to basic at? Fort Jackson, naturally, you know. Southerners usually end up there. Yeah. Although my brother went to Fort Jackson too, so. He spent he spent 10 years in there. I didn't spend a lick of spit. It was a good experience, but I should have never gone to begin with. I could have got a scholarship because I played a trumpet pretty good. I played a really mean trumpet, folks. And I could have got a band scholarship. I was good enough to get that. I always wonder what would have came with me if I had a musician career. You know, I may actually start back playing the trumpet, actually. Because like I said, I was pretty good at it. Well, Athens, to create a platform, it requires a lot of bandwidth there. It can be quite expensive. We're talking millions upon millions of dollars, you know. Yes, Scatman, poppers do that, you know. Michael, don't ask, you know. Poppers didn't originate in the gay community, by the way. It was mainly in those orgy crowds back in the 70s, actually. And it wasn't really just to loosen up your ass. It was really just to get high. It's a cheap high, in other words. I'm not good enough to be a bartender at the Swordfish. You got to be a professional. No, I didn't play the flute. I played a trumpet. I don't have a trumpet. But if I get my trumpet back, I'll play it, but I'll have to turn the volume down really low. Why did I go to the Army? I'm from the ghetto, you know. I mean, I didn't have any scholarships. I couldn't play basketball. I mean, I could have gotten a band scholarship, but there wasn't anything in the works. Most people in my community go to the Army, and like I said, having 3 square meals a day and a place to sleep there ain't too bad, you know. It's a big commitment, but a lot of people don't retire from the Army jump tube. But yeah, I would be retired. But even with retirement, you know, the amount of money that you would get is not going to be really enough to live on. Goodfellas, I've already been a bouncer at plenty of bars and restaurants. That's what I used to do back in the day. And I don't want to do it again because I hate getting hit in the face. See, when people drink, they don't think, you know. And everyone thinks I'm gonna be the big old badass, and I'm gonna go hit the I'm gonna go hit the bouncer, you know. I'm gonna watch me go and lay out this bouncer, you know. I never considered myself as a bouncer, actually. You know, I've always considered myself as security, in other words. A bouncer's something that, you know, it reminds, I mean, I'm no Patrick Swayze or anything like that. It ain't Roadhouse or anything. I'm not throwing high kicks or anything, you know. It's security, you know. I was more like Otis from Martin, you know. Get ready to take it down, boy. Get ready to take it down. Get ready to take you know. I was like that, y'all. Hmm. Just haven't done it, Scat Man. I mean, as far as electric music is concerned, a lot of things I haven't been doing. Andrew, it's hard to create a cigar business. If I was going to do that, it would be a cigar lounge, but I don't have any aspirations for that. What did I just say, Jump Tube? I wasn't like Dalton. I was more like Otis from Martin, you know? What rank? I mean, I was a PFC in the Army, but I mean, I don't, I don't understand the question. No, I was on steroids at the time, Andrew, so I definitely wasn't no Carl Winslow. Or at least I was on steroids until 2001, but I was still taking a bunch of pro hormones. I was pretty jacked when I was in security. Uh, actually, yeah, yeah, steroids will do that, I guess. So. Sam Elliott, well, I don't want to get stabbed and get killed or anything, but yeah, Sam Elliott is a great actor, you know. I've never seen him in any bad movie, especially my one of my most favorite movies being Tombstone. No, I'm not dating anyone at the time at right now. No grinder, no nothing. I'm just keeping to myself here. A kick to the knee is yes. I use that a bunch there, Jump Tube. You do that there. It takes a person down really quick, but you want to avoid trying to actually injure someone. You know, Doctor Huge is an idiot. You know, and eventually, he's gonna get in trouble and get tossed in one of those Thailand prisons, and then he's gonna really be in some stuff. No, there's no Mrs. Goodrum. Lamar, I don't have Netflix. I don't pay for anything, you know. For some reason or other, I still got my. I'm not paying anything for Disney, Hulu, and ESPN. Eventually, I'll have to pay for it. I'm not. Right now, Shakespeare and Hathaway have not started their season. I don't know if they're going to have a season, so I don't have BritBox. So. Uh, and I'm not really watching much TV now, to be honest with you. If I watch TV, I'm more watching on my local stations with my antenna. Opening a camping ground, Scatman. Why? I suppose, Andrew, I don't keep up with Netflix. There's nothing on there that really interests me. You know, and a lot of these, one thing that I've noticed is a lot of these streaming channels like putting a bunch of crappy gay movies and crappy gay shows up there, like they want to be inclusive. You know, a crappy show is a crappy show. You know, it's sort of like that movie that Disney made. The reason why it failed isn't because they had a gay lead character. It's because the movie sucked. You know, just because you throw a bunch of queers in a movie doesn't mean it's going to be any good. You still have to have a good script. There's been some good gay movies there, and there's been some good gay shows like Noah, for example. But that's because they were developed. They had good writing. They had good directors and everything. You know, everything should be on par of things. It's like a black restaurant there. You know, I don't go and eat at a black restaurant. I want to eat at one that has good reviews there, you know, and stuff if I'm going to eat at a black restaurant, you know. But I don't go look for black restaurants. I go look for good restaurants, you know. I mean, if a group of white people went and opened up a Chinese restaurant or so forth, and they served good food, I would eat there. I wouldn't care whether they were white or not. I've been to plenty of Asian restaurants that are owned by Asians, and the food tasted like cat. And chances are it probably was cat, just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is. Scatman, I don't care where they ban Grinder. That's another thing. Grinder is full of a lot of pedos are getting on that too. So, anyway, as far as Guru is concerned, I haven't heard any news since then. But again, he's in some deep trouble as far as I've looked more into that ibogaine stuff there, and from what I understand, it helps with weight loss, but I don't see how. Yep, Sam's Club, 99 bucks, Susan. I actually got 3 of them. I had 3 of them at one time. I had one that I put in my office at Verizon when I had my office there. I had one in my downtown Greenville office during COVID because I used to have an office downtown. I put up a bunch of videos at that time, and I got one here. But I gave away the other 2, so I only have this one left. Or actually, I didn't give away one. One was still in the office when we left, and I just never went and got it back. So, Lord knows where that thing's at now. No, James, my ex-husband was Wiccan. I was never Wiccan. I don't eat Pop-Tarts, Raul. I do have an apple strudel. I'll have an apple strudel on Sunday morning. Usually on Sunday morning, I'll have an apple. I call it the Inglorious Bastards breakfast on Sundays. Apple strudel, whipped cream, espresso coffee, and a little cigaretto. And if you're wondering, yes, I put the cigaretto out on the strudel. That's why I call it a bastard's breakfast. Guys, you don't want to break someone's leg there. It's a good way to take someone down, but you want them coming back to the bar so they'll drink again. If you keep breaking people's legs, then that would motivate them not to come back and drink, That's just part of doing what I call security and bouncing. You want to make sure that you escort them out, but you don't want to bust them up or anything. They can bust you up, which some of them did, and hit me in the face. Again, I don't like getting hit in the face. But you want to make sure they come back, So we try to avoid stuff like that. Now, granted, it happens sometimes, but, whoopsie, as Bill the Butcher said in Gangs of New York, whoopsie. As far as the Power Slap League, there's going to be a lot of people with CTE, that's for sure. I mean, I saw that little Mohawk girl, I think her name was, and she got popped really good, so I guess it's entertaining there, but a lot of that's some instant CTE stuff there, Scatman, what is it with you with cabins and lakes for? This ain't the great outdoors. I'm not John Candy or anything like that, Well, Brokeback Mountain was a good movie. I mean, the people have spoken about that movie, made a lot of money. People liked it. And it was, but it's a good movie, not because it was 2 dudes screwing in a tent or anything. It was just well written. That's my whole thing. If you're gonna make, you can always make a gay movie if you want, but it's got to be a good movie. It's got to be well written. It's got to be properly directed. If it ain't directed, it's still going to be a crappy movie. I'm not gonna go watch a movie because there's a bunch of black people running around in it, and neither you shouldn't be watching movies because it's endorsed by Trump or some other conservative or anything. Check the reviews, see what everybody else likes. I mean, but there's good movies and there's bad movies. Just remember that, folks. Because Hollywood likes to make movies that try to appeal to certain audiences and stuff like that. And they cut corners. If a movie's bad, sometimes they'll throw a couple of black people in it there, you know. Y'all remember the TV show Friends, right? Never really had any black folks up there, but popular show. Same with Seinfeld. But on the flip side, you know, you had Good Times, you know. You had Sanford and Son, you know. They were calling people crackers and stuff like that, but still was a great show. You know why? Because it was well written, you know. It was well written. If you have a well written show that is properly produced, it's not going to matter who's in it, you know. It's going to be a good show, and people are going to watch it. Yeah, I got a third left, actually, so. Scatman, quit asking about camping grounds there. Damn. I would get an adjustable bench, Raul. I wouldn't get a separate flat bench, you know. I would rather have a bench that has multiple uses on it. Jump tube, I've been to the Olympia before plenty of times. I've just not been in a while there, you know. You just get used to it. And for the most part, I'm almost removed from the bodybuilding industry. I'm sort of eking back in with it, with selling Body Solid and starting back selling supplements to the grocery site. But once I remove myself from that scene, you know, there's no need for me to attend the Mr. Olympia or most other expos. I'll still go to a bodybuilding show, a regional or local one, but that would be about the extent of it. Favorite movie of 2000? Oh boy, not Brokeback Mountain. I would say the Batman movie with Heath Ledger. That was a good movie. I think that's the best one of 2000 that I could think of offhand. Now, it's easy to pick the 90s because that would be Tombstone. And in the 80s, it was Spaceballs for me. So, Spaceballs is an awesome movie. I wish they make the next one, Spaceballs 2, the search for more money. I'm not far behind in questions, actually. I'm actually all caught up there, you know. But sometimes when there's a lot of questions coming in, yeah. But like I said, again, I don't take donations for answering questions there. So, so sometimes it does take me a little bit to answer every question. I don't believe in reincarnation there, Lamar. And to be honest with you, even if I did, I would like to come back just the way I am right now. You know, I like me. I mean, coming back and being white doesn't guarantee that I would have a better life. In fact, I could possibly have a worse life, you know. Because given my comedy and humor, I'd probably be accused of being a racist there. So, see, when you're black, you can get away with racist comments there, you know. I can walk up to someone and call them a cracker or a honky, and no one would say any different. They wouldn't even call me a racist, you know. That's the way our society works sometimes, you know. I can't get, I mean, I'm never going to get a good credit history, and I might get a whooping from the cops with a baton, but I could certainly call someone a cracker. No one would think I was a racist. Just keeping it real and telling it to you like it is here. Scatman, I can light a fire with a cotton and a stick and a piece of flint. But no more camping stuff there. Andrew, you gotta watch Tombstone. It's easy to watch. It's on Hulu. It's an older movie. You can find it anywhere for free. You can even watch it on Pluto. Nutty Professor was a good movie there, Ice Monkey. Glad you mentioned that. That's a good movie. What's my favorite scene in the movie Deliverance? You do know I lived in Sylva, North Carolina, right? That they filmed part of the scenes for Deliverance. But of course, naturally, it'd be, I'm gonna make you squeal, squeal, yee, squeal, yee, squeal, yee, squeal, ah. No, I've not watched the movie Get Out yet there, Scatman. Damn it, man. Quit talking about it. You ask that one more time, I'm going to stop answering your questions, pal. And you can just hang up here. You're on some camping kick today. Does anyone, do any of you fellow biz troopers, y'all want to go camping or so? You know, you want to set a fire or anything like that? You know, I was a Boy Scout at one time, you know, but I don't feel like camping right now. Yeah, I'm sure Chuck E. Cheese is gonna make a copy of that video where I was like, squeal, squeal, yee! But you gotta remember, I'm an entertainer. I used to do professional rap, so I do know how to entertain, folks. You know, that's part of running a YouTube channel, being a creator. You have to have the ability to move the crowd. You know, move the crowd. Yes, sir. How in the world did he agree to do the scene? Money, you know. They got a ton of money to do a scene like that. I mean, and it's very memorable. Just remember, it's a movie. It's not like he was really taking a dick or anything like that. Now, if he had to take a dick, then, yeah, I would ask for more money, you know. James, I don't know what it's all about today. He's in a camping mood, I guess, but okay. Camping wouldn't really be a bad idea, but, you know, enough with the camping questions. I get your point there. And I have an idea what he's trying to get to there. And Scatman is usually one nasty motherfucker, you know. Jump Tube, you keep forgetting about royalties. Burt Reynolds would have done that. I mean, he was in a movie where he smeared petroleum jelly all over himself. I mean, come on, really? He was naked with some cowboy boots and a cowboy hat, and he smeared petroleum jelly all over him. Remember that movie? I mean, it's Hollywood. It's entertainment. It's not for real, folks. Y'all remember my show I did on Halloween where I dressed up as a tan. It's entertainment, folks. Come on, really. You gotta laugh at yourself sometimes. If you are an entertainer, if you're in the Hollywood business, your job is to entertain, you know. Sometimes you make people cry. Sometimes you give people advice. Sometimes you make people laugh, you know. No, I wouldn't date Don Lemon. He's too big of a liberal for me to date. Plus, he drinks a lot, too. But honestly, with his behavior, he would seem to be pretty stuck up. But good question. No, I wouldn't date Don Lemon. I wouldn't date Anderson Cooper, anyone from CNN. Those types of people, folks, they're arrogant and stuck up, you know. And they got millions of dollars. How are they going to relate to the average Joes like us anyway? You know, really. Yeah, the chickens. That was the Cannonball Run jump to. That was a good movie in the 80s there, you know, and that was the last time the Rat Pack was together. Yeah, that was an awesome movie, yeah. Thanks for reminding me about that. I would also have to put that as one of my favorite movies in the 80s, those Cannonball Runs they used to have. They ought to do another Cannonball Run. Andrew, you already know the answer to that. I mean, with all the hamburgers he eats, it'd be easy for me to get it in and everything. I plenty of lubricant around the ass, but you know, it would be a very muddy ride. It'd be like dirt bike racing and stuff like that. Just keeping it real, tell it to you like it is, baby. Yeah, Cannonball Run is. I mean, it's an '80s movie. There, it's an older movie, so yeah, it would be free on YouTube. I get that. I get asked that every single week, Truth One, and the answer is under no circumstances would I ever date Big Lenny. Road Trip. Mm-hmm. But you know, if I actually met someone on YouTube, you know, it wouldn't be a thing for me just to slap my John Holmes across their face while sipping Hennessy, you know. Just saying, you know. Animal House was an awesome movie. Belushi, you know, some great actors, you know. I get a lot of my comedy from things like Animal House, as well as Meatballs here. When I think of Animal House, if I watch Animal House, I gotta watch Meatballs as well. Any of you guys ever heard of Meatballs, the movies, before? Good old 80s movies. Well, actually, I think that was a late 70s movie for Animal House. But then you're talking about the early 80s, you know. A lot of unknown movies like Gotcha. Gotcha is such an underrated movie. No, I wouldn't slap Jasmine across her face with my John Holmes while sipping Hennessy. Nope, 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 nope. A bar, a bar would make a lot more money than a restaurant. Lower overhead, maximize profit. But like I said, and the key would be is to put it in the right place. You can make more money with the restaurant than a bar because a restaurant can't have a bar in it. So you're doubling up money, but it's higher overhead. Honestly, I would just rather serve drinks and have a place for people to chill out. Maybe a cigar lounge. Cigar lounge is also low overhead as well. As long as you have the ventilation systems and stuff like that and have the cigars, good. Scatman, it's hard to do 5 top movies off my head. I would say Tombstone, Spaceballs, I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, you know, Batman, just about every Batman, including the original one with Jack Nicholson, you know. I did like Titanic as well, you know, and stuff. There's just a lot of movies. As far as a roommate is concerned, probably Big Lenny because I would make him clean, you know. Jay Masters would be pretty hard to control. But no, Scatman, I've never used poppers. I've already answered that for you. Top 5 baddest women in movies. The only one I can think of maybe is Pam Grier, Uma Thurman. That person who married Brad Pitt, Angela Jolie, whenever she did the Navy SEAL movie and stuff. I don't really keep up with bitches anyway, so. Barbell, how would I look into seeing whether Jason Blaha has fake clients or not? You know, I've asked around and I've tried to contact these people, but they don't answer. Blaha has them trained to where they don't answer, you know, if they're their clients, obviously. If there's clients. There's little to do with nothing. Of course, I flossed in between my teeth, including the front. You gotta get the edges of it, you know. Have I ever taken a date to the Swordfish? Yes, I have. Yeah, it's pretty easy to brush between my front teeth, obviously. Hey. I didn't like any of the Aliens movies, so again, this is the end of the cigar. I'll take one more puff. Wonder where Pugman is here. He always likes my Blue Flame, but oh well. Actually, I'm going to pour myself a little more of the Cavados. Just a splash. Scatman, I know what he's asking. No 2 more hours, just 1 more hour. I got to get back to work. Yeah, that's how I first made my first video about the Delray Misfits, because they were joking about me on their show about my teeth, you know. But eventually I would have been up there because I was already friends with Genova and stuff, you know, because at the time we were all involved with the start of the Blackstone Labs thing, so back in the day. Genova was getting supplements, I was getting supplements, everybody was getting supplements to endorse that company. Aaron Singerman is a smart. Top 5 dudes. Well, you got Patrick Swayze, you got Sam Elliott, you got, of course, Val Kilmer. You know, Val Kilmer's an excellent actor. I hope he gets better. The throat thing's pretty bad these days, you know. Then you got Denzel Washington, you know. You got Morgan Freeman, you know. You got a lot of great actors, you know. Those would be what I would really consider my 5. But honestly, there's a lot of great actors, men and women, you know. And if you want to talk about what's the name of that girl? Devore or something. She was a great transition actor, transgender actor. Let me see, what was her name? Demure or something, I can't remember. Yeah, he has throat cancer, but because he is a Christian Scientist, or actually, I think they call it a he studies Christian Science. They believe in not getting any types of surgeries or anything. Oh yeah, Devore. Now I remember. Yeah, one of those. I think her famous part was when she took a piece of doo-doo off the ground and ate it. Anything for well, Vegan Gains just donated $3. Checking in from twerking. I don't think that is Vegan Gains, but thanks again for the donation. I'm not going to read off what you wrote. Ew, ew, ew. Ugh. He probably doesn't, Barbell, but so what? Who cares? You know, Hemingway can do what he wants to do. Every YouTube creator has his mystique. They have their secrets and stuff like that. Even I do. That they don't want to reveal to the world, so. Truth when I date solely on personality. Looks can be a factor, but personality is the biggest attraction for me if I'm going to date someone. And I just explained that, Raul, as far as to my criteria of dating anyone. But Charlie Sheen was a drug monkey, and still probably is a drug monkey, so no. No Charlie Sheen. No Emilio, no Carlos Estevez. Tom Hanks was a great actor too. Like I said, there's a lot of great actors throughout history. I mean, you got old Bogey, Humphrey Bogart, you know. I mean, Sean Connery, you know. Well, I've seen Blaha bench press. I've seen him deadlift. I've seen him do squats. William Dafoe, he's like in his 70s or something. He's a ginger, too. Yes, drug monkey is worse than the porch monkey. Cut that out with the porch monkey stuff, too, you know. Jay Masters thinks it's funny, but honestly, it's just kind of old.
Sorry, I'll send again. I want to debate you. You win, I'll suck you off, and I win, vice versa. Also, I just wanted to check in and see how you were doing, handsome. Honestly, how did our family create such a creature like you? If only we weren't cousins. Wink.
Thanks again for the $5 donation. I think I need a little bit more after this here. Ugh. You people. I wonder how long is he gonna run his live tonight. Folks, how long has he been running his live? Has he been getting off at like 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning, or has he ran it until the daytime? Hey, at least he's donating there, so whoever it is. So, again, thanks for the donation there. Hey, you guys can put some money in for the Swordfish Club there if you wish to. Scatman, a lot of people asked me to turn down my microphone there, so I did. So he goes until 2 a.m. Okay. At least he gets to bed a little bit earlier. Yeah, the trolls have been really roasting him in the live streams. But you have to understand, trolls are part of, you know, live streams anyway, you know. You can't get put off by having trolls in your chat there or anything. No, that's not true. I mean, drug addiction is a big thing, you know. The thing about dating Charlie Sheen, it has to deal with being around drug dealers there where you can get shot there, you know, and stuff. You don't want to be around someone that's doing drugs anyway. And there's nothing wrong with black people. yeah, that's another reason because most people know me as that troll from Get Big and MD, where I would go in and trash the place, as well as RX Muscle. So that's how I got famous in the bodybuilding and fitness industry, by trolling. Well, Steve, that's what happens when you get caught on a hot mic. I think it was overkill for her to resign. She could have just said apologize, but it is what it is and what it's going to be and what it's going to be. I think things work a little bit different down in New Zealand than it is in U.S. I mean, we got that George Santos guy that lied about his credentials and stuff. And he not only didn't resign, but I think McCarthy put him on a committee there, of all things. Eisen, just like Vegan Gains, Blaha only cares about making money in his chats. That's it. It's also why he went over to Facebook. I mean, he doesn't, in his mind, as well as Vegan Gains, they don't need the trolls. They just need people that's going to donate to him or build up his channel. Yeah, I remember Rami's Corner, especially his column in MD as well, although it was really written by Ron Harris. You have to understand that columns
I'm serious, black brethren. I will send you money to come camping nearby where I live. It's not too far out, just kind of in the middle of nowhere, and also a few kidnappings have happened from online meetups, but we should be fine. I'll take extra care.
Well, Scatman, I definitely appreciate the donation there. I mean, I don't feel like going camping. I would have to buy a bunch of gear and stuff, but thanks again for the donation, man. You crazy. I don't pay too much with Henry here, but protein bar, I wouldn't. That's the thing. I don't date people with that do drugs. Shrooms, LSD. You got to get it from somewhere, which is a drug dealer. And if you get pulled over and someone has it, you get arrested too. Not worth it. If I had a YouTube channel at the time, of course I would have collaborated with Genova. But for the most part, I've just given him good advice here. Just like I give people advice on my live streams. Genova's a good kid there, so... Ooh, my back is still killing me. There's some good Cavados here. Raul, no, I wouldn't do that. Ugh. Might have to cut off the live stream early. Keep asking. I was just messing. Andrew, he's trolling. Don't worry about it. Ugh. Oh boy. If Vegan Games ever gets his channel banned again and deleted, yes, he would have to get a job. His expenses are so high, he would need to do something. And Jasmine would also have to get a job. No, I don't have any Hennessy. I don't really drink too much Hennessy. I have... usually I have a different cognac there, ABK6, than Hennessy. I'll drink Hennessy if it's around and what's available at a party, but that's it. Cabados isn't grapes, it's apples and pears, actually. It's distilled apple cider and refined as a brandy. Kaizen, Genova's a lot smarter than people take him for, and that's why people like Genova. Because he uses disability to take advantage of people. I like him too for doing that, because that's the whole thing. People treated him like a disabled kid, but he would always be one step ahead of him. That's why Genova is so popular. I mean, just imagine how much supplements and money that he conned out of PJ Braun. It's crazy. Four Loko is very dangerous. I mean, I've had a Four Loko before, and it's pretty nasty. I would consider it on par with diesel fuel. Well, normally I keep brandy, French brandy there, Scatman. But I decided to break out the Cavados. Rami will place out of the top 5. But I don't think he'll do the Arnold. He'll just, because he's already a Mr. Olympia, and he's already qualified, he'll just, if anything, he'll just do the Olympia again next year. Afterwards, that'll be it. That's my opinion. But no, I don't see him doing the Arnold. Nick Walker definitely is going to do the Arnold, and he's going to win too. He showed up pretty well at the Mr. Olympia, better than I actually expected. Ice Monkey Genova's done a lot of things. I remember when he was cooking that food there with all that olive oil. The moonshine's pretty good around here. I mean, this is the South after all. I haven't had moonshine since there was a club around here called 621. And then there was one South 29 as well, where I had some moonshine that was snuck in at the parking lot. I had some moonshine there. Those are 2 gay clubs, by the way. 621 closed down whenever I got back. I think it closed down in 2014. Me and Boston Lloyd never got along. He said some very bad things, even worse than what Jay Masters said about me. A lot worse. But even that, I don't wish death upon anyone. So, as I said previously, I'm really sorry that he did pass away and stuff. He had a pretty hard life, but you know, he was really reckless with the stuff there, and it catches up. It'll catch up to pretty much all of us that have taken anabolic steroids here, you know. All of us. No, the first alcohol I ever drunk was malt liquor, Old English 800. That's the first alcohol I had in my mom once gave me a sip of her Seagram's wine coolers as well. This is back in the late 80s. Have I ever been to a glory hole? The answer is no. I've been to a party to where there has been a glory hole before, but those things are pretty nasty. So I didn't stick my thingamajig in it, you know. A lot of the older gay clubs back in the late 90s and 2000s had glory holes in it. But that stuff is kind of immature, and, you know, the thing about it is you never know who's sucking on what, you know. Either that, or if you stick it in, someone might whip out a knife and chop your wee-wee off here. I was also afraid, you know. No glory holes. If I'm gonna get sucked off, I want to see the person that's doing it, you know. If they're gonna lick on the soul pole, you know, you gotta know who's sucking on the soul pole. Just keeping real talk like it is. Yes, sir. Balson said the same thing, but even worse. He put up pictures and stuff like that. Just some really bad stuff. It was the same with The Bio 3 training guy. I can't think of his name right now. He did the same thing on Get Big. But he was on a lot of drugs at the time too, recreational drugs. But folks, stay away from glory holes. I shouldn't have to tell you people that, you know. Diseases, you know, you don't know who's doing it. What happens if you get caught, you know? You're going to be very embarrassed, you know. You know, cops usually raid the places. Would you want a cop walking in, raiding the place, and you got your thing in the glory hole or so forth? Get arrested for indecent behavior. You got to go to jail and ask, hey, what'd you go to jail for? Well, I stuck my wee-wee in the glory hole, you know, when I was getting sucked off, you know, like... Yeah, Jerry Ward. That's right. He said a lot of bad things about me on Get Big as well. What's up, Robert? You getting in here late tonight there. I guess you were on Lenny's stream there. A lot of people streaming tonight. Well, I had to put that video out for VKV. I just had to let him know that the great one is watching. Oh, Ice Monkey, that's the whole thing. You don't know who's on the other side of the glory hole, you know? It's the same people that do all those bathroom hijinks, you know, like George Michael. You know, that might be an undercover cop, you know? It's just easier just to go up to a guy. For me, it was easier for me to go up to a guy and say, hey, I like you and I want you. And we can do this the easy way or the hard way. The choice is yours. And they would always say yes, yes. And then I would take them home and they would hop on the soul pole. And if they stayed overnight in the morning time, I may fix them a nice strudel. Or some waffles like The Rock, you know. And then I tell them, hey, you ain't got to go home, but you got to go. I talk with Lowbliner a bunch. I've not talked to him in a couple of weeks here. But yeah, I talk to him a bunch. Usually about bodybuilding related stuff. Yeah, I've ruined a lot of buttholes there in my life, you know. Tore up a lot of poontang as well, you know. The ladies love the soul pole, you know. You never know, you know. KFC's got the white meat. The great one has that dark meat. Have I hooked up with a guy in a car? Yeah, I have. Hasn't everyone? I've hooked up with a girl in a car too. I've hooked up with a bunch of girls in cars and guys. But this is in my youth, people. You know, the best way to screw a lady in a car, you know, I told her to get out. I told her to lay back. I took the front seat, laid her on the back, you know, and we did it doggy style like George in the Parliament, you know. Same with the guy as well, you know. Yep. I've been with a lot of women there, Fernandez. A whole lot of women. I would say my ratio between men and women are probably about equal. I mean, everyone has probably done it in the car before or outside. I mean, if you haven't, then you haven't really lived life, you know. I don't know what my body count is. I never kept count or anything like that. But you know, I did screw a lot there back in the late '90s and 2000s. I mean, you're on steroids and stuff. You know, when you know you got all this energy and everything like that, and you got to release the beast. You know, just saying. You got to sow your oats, like Mr. Ed. Well, usually I would go in the pink there, not the stink there. You know, you don't want to mix the doo doo with the fish drippings or anything like that. You know. Well, Liner's 5'6". He's shorter than I am, so I would say he's about 5'6", 5'7". You know, there was a wrestler that I knew that his finishing move was a soul pole. It was just an STF, actually. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the STF. It's the same one that John Cena and William Regal used to use. The most popular supplement was probably ephedra. Yeah, everyone did a lot of jacked. Like I said, Patrick Arnold was a genius when he created that stuff there. Yeah, Patrick Arnold was a mad scientist, that's for sure. Yeah, bruh, I said it. Fernandez, I've already finished the cigar. You got here late. You snooze, you lose. Yeah, it's pretty common for bodybuilders to stuff their trunks. But it's common for a lot of people that don't have self-confidence or anything. You know, us black folks pack a lot of meat, you know, so never have to worry about that. Now, I ain't as big as your typical brother, anything like that, but you know, I could swing it like New Jack. Got the New Jack swing. I got the New Jack sing with my ding-a-ling. Stacker 2 was only popular because it was one of those NASCAR endorsed things. We used to call it the redneck fat burner. Yeah, I've seen Steve Cook's channel. The only thing I can say, it's very interesting, but not something I would want to watch often. Probably the same size there, Andrew. Unfortunately, someone sent me those pictures. You know, that's another thing. Every time, sometimes I open up the Instagram message and says, hey, check this out. They show me Richard Schlong there. I mean, but like I said, you know, you got to have your trolls there. And some people really troll me on Instagram, that's for sure, with that crap. Raul, my question is, why would someone inject their nose with GH for? Oh yeah, I watched a lot of WCW. I watched practically all of their pay-per-views at the time. Thoughts on what, Lamar? I must have missed your question, or maybe you didn't phrase it right or so. Yeah, I did answer it. I mean, people send me his schlong all the time there. About the same size there, I guess. Well. Like I said, Eamon is in some deep trouble, you know. And using ibogaine there, it's just ridiculous. Eddie Guerrero, he was a great wrestler. I think his death had more to do with his recreational drug use at the time, and even though he stopped, he had already done enough damage to his heart already. The stuff from Signature Pharmacy definitely just made it a lot worse. What's my favorite color? Red and either red or pink. But usually pink is my favorite color. It's sort of like an Elvis thing. Well, Charlie, a lot of them were, and the reason being is because they were wrestling over 300 days a year, you know, and you didn't get much sleep because you had to drive everywhere, so you had to stay awake for your wrestling matches. So, yeah, a lot of them were doing coke and other drugs. Nowadays, wrestling is a lot more responsible. Sort of. And I do say sort of. They're still using gear, obviously. But they have shrunk up, so they're not using as much gear as they did in the 90s. Well, me and John we relate a lot in a lot of things such as Elvis. No, I love Elvis. He loves Elvis here. I wouldn't date John Bravo or anything like that, but we have a lot of commonality when it comes to things like Elvis. I'm a big Elvis fan too, by the way. So, and obviously a big David Crosby fan. Well, X Pac is in the Hall of Fame. One thing about X Pac there, he's the only one that was part of D Generation X and the NWO originals. So, yeah, I watch Street Beefs on occasion there. You know, they used to have before Street Beefs, they used to have that stuff on videotapes. I consider that part of the bum fights genre and the old Kimbo Slice videos. Jason Genova's Elvis album. I saw his rap videos and I thought they sucked, but I wasn't aware he did anything Elvis wise. I know he got blown by that tranny woman there. Transgender. I got to start using my pronouns more correctly there because I said that locally and someone went and got on me for it. And I got to admit, I got to get better with that, you know. Yeah, Bravo uses the juice and, you know, obviously does something with his hair and everything. No, Andrew, because I'm not taking my robe off. But you guys know what my bicep looks like. Folks, I mean, unlike Vegan Gains, I'm not just going to go and do something for money or anything like that, whether it's 50 or 100. That is just not the way it works. If I do a bicep flex, I'll do it because I feel like it, and you won't have to pay me for it. And I have done a bicep flex before, you know, and stuff. I just don't feel like it right now. If I don't feel like doing something, I ain't gonna do it. Period. It's not a wig. He's taking something for his hair. You know, whenever you do this here, That means that the alcohol is hitting you pretty good, so. Just saying. No, it's not a wig there, Robert. You can't have hair like John Bravo and be a wig. That's, it's too specific to be a wig. Have I ever wore contacts? Yes, I used to wear contacts actually. I wore them for a couple of years and then I stopped. Usually I wore them on the weekends at whenever I went out to the club. That's when I would wear contacts. But I've not wore contacts in quite some time. And whenever I wore contacts, I wore disposable contacts. Scatman, I would do this show even if there was only one viewer in this here or zero. Because at the end of the day, I can just, it still shows up on my channel and people, I get a lot of replays on my live stream, so it doesn't really matter who shows up. Plus, like I said, there's a lot of people streaming tonight, you know. Would I rather talk like Jar Jar Binks or like... Well, Jar Jar Binks doesn't speak real English, so I would choose Georgia or Banks. Or if you're talking about Carlton Banks. I didn't play sports in high school because I had to work, but I was an ROTC. Robert, there's a lot of people on YouTube that take Rogaine products and stuff. Some of them use that that Ron Popeil hairspray, the Topics and stuff like that. It's possible that Bravo's using the Topic stuff. Like I said, I never asked him, and honestly, it's not even my business here. I do know he does use something for his hair. I'm just not sure what it is. It could be either Topics or it could be a Rogaine type product. Mr. Wilson is live. How can someone stream for 586 hours? Wouldn't you fall asleep or something? I mean, 586 hours would be... That would be like a month or so. Unless he takes naps in between. Well, I mean, Andrew, as long as you got good rest there, I mean, that's a benefit of any stream regardless, so. Not at my school. ROTC was pretty popular. I went to Clyde A. Irwin High School, which is like a farming school, so any activity like that would be pretty popular. I mean, it's a pretty conservative school, so everyone likes the military where I live, so. No, we didn't get roasted. We got respected. Charlie, it's up to you whether you want to hop on that stuff, but me personally, I didn't. I just rather be bald, and I'll stay bald. Bald is beautiful, folks. It's beautiful. All right, folks, you got 20 minutes left, so get your questions in. If you want to drop some money into the collection plate, the Reverend Dr. Vince Goodrum, the great one, will thank you for it, though. But get your questions in if you got them. Also, smoke them if you got them. And drink them if you got them. And if you're beating off, don't tell me. But if you're beating off, that's perfectly fine. You can always beat off on the midnight run. You want to choke that chicken? Go right ahead. I don't care. Because I won't be able to see it. Fernandez, I think hating Jews is just bad. Hating any type of people just because of their race or religion or anything, it's not cool, you know? Well, Kaizen, it depends on whether you went to a liberal school or if you went to a conservative school. That's all that really is. You went to a liberal school, then yes, ROTC would be very unpopular. Well, Charlie, if ROTC was dorks where you came from, then you went to a liberal school. So you're going to do that after the stream. Well, that's good. Like I said, you always got to, it's like the movie Wolf of Wall Street. You want to crank it out at least once or twice a day, keep your energy levels up, you know. It's also quite healthy for you as well, actually. Most people don't know this, but jerking off is actually good for you there because it actually relieves the stress levels and stuff. Just don't be pounding it like 10 or 12 times a day. If you do that, then you need some personal help, you know. Always take that advice Matthew McConaughey said back in Wolf of Wall Street. That's the best advice you can take. Always crank it off once or twice a day. Keeping it real and telling it to you like it is there. Yeah, I've seen Donnie Darko before. Good stuff here. Yeah. Well, Andrew, that you're yanking it too much there. Once or twice there, you know. If you feel like doing it for a third time, watch some TV or play some video games. You don't need to do it that much. I don't think Biden will make it to the next election, Fernandez. He's going to be really old if he does. I mean, he'll be in his 80s. Exactly. You don't want to be a porn addict here. That's why I say once or twice a day. It's like coffee there. I can't get through the day without coffee. But I only have two. I only make 2 pots. I mean, not 2 pots, but 2 cups a day. I don't drink coffee all day. Biden is king. Whatever. Guys, and anyone can keel over at any point in time there, you know. That's why there's a vice president for it. And, you know, it's not a president there. Some presidents have died during office to where the vice president has taken over. It's been a while since it's happened, since I think the last time it happened was with when Calvin Coolidge took over. And let's not forget John F. Kennedy whenever he got shot. As well as Tricky Dick as well. Richard Nixon. So it's not a president that it's happened a lot to where the vice president has taken over. But Lord knows if we get Kamala Harris, oh, Lord help us. I was circumcised at birth, you know. Honestly, to be honest with you, I've seen it before. I wouldn't want to have a piece of skin hanging over me. I don't, you know. I think every person should get circumcised, but it's sort of like a religious type thing, you know. As well as like smacking babies at the christening and stuff. Yeah. The good thing is Biden is finally keeping her out of the scene, so you don't hear much from her. And that's the thing about a vice president. You're not really supposed to hear from that person often. It's sort of like Mike Pence. You're supposed to stay in the background and take care of things, Whenever Biden became president, you could see her face all the time and stuff like that. Vice presidents are supposed to stay in the back of the bus, like it was 1950. They're supposed to be in the back of the bus. Now, me, the great one, would always be in the front of the bus if I was in the 50s. Or to be honest with you, I would get a car instead. I would not indignify myself. Now, if I was in truth of the matter is, that's one thing. If I was going to be in the U.S., I would get a car. But if it was the 1950s, I probably would have moved to France or England. I would not ever stay in the U.S. if I was in the 50s. Not any chance whatsoever. I would earn enough money, head overseas to the UK or France, and I would stay my black ass there. I definitely wouldn't been able to deal with drinking out of a colored water fountain and stuff like that, The hell with that. Just like today, I'm a big person. I'm a big fan of the First Amendment and Second Amendment. And if I couldn't exercise both of those at the time, I'm not going to go and fight about it or anything like that. Just go somewhere else, You are not a tree, You can leave. But I would have never dealt with that type of stuff. Fuck that. I would have just shipped right off to the UK I would probably would have gone to France actually. You can't be based and be president. That's just I'm way too based from what people tell me here. You guys think I'm pretty much based there, so I mean I'd never be president. Well, it's not just Jim Crow, Kaizen. Even today, there's a lot of discrimination and stuff still. It didn't disappear because of the civil rights movement there. There's still plenty of discrimination. It's not to the point to where I would actually leave or anything, But the Jim Crow stuff and everything that was going on in the 50s, why stick around why would I stick around for that kind of crap? Why would I go and put up with it when there would have been other countries that, I could have made a life out of, Lamar, both of those things are quite dangerous, so neither one of those. And nowadays, that stuff can be mixed with fentanyl, so you definitely don't. You really don't want to be. This is the worst time ever to get on drugs there because of fentanyl. That stuff is killing a whole lot of people. It's just so dangerous, Whenever and the reason being is because they ban so many things like ephedra and other drugs. The only thing that comes along, folks, is more dangerous drugs, Let's ban coke. Let's go ban marijuana. Okay, we got it banned. What comes up next? Fentanyl. And then people are drinking that promethazine, that Percocet and stuff. We need to get back to the good old days of cocaine and ephedra, in my opinion, None of that mixy stuff. Even LSD was safer. At least it was a pharmaceutical grade. Now you got all stuff that's being made out of nowhere. I mean, LSD would make your head spin, but it wouldn't kill you like fentanyl. Fentanyl will kill you in like a minute or two. Andrew, you could still get ephedra overseas there, and you can have it shipped to you. So getting ephedra is pretty easy to do. Because it's only illegal in this country. And you could still go to a pharmacy and ask for cold medicine. behind the counter that has the ephedrine in it, so you can still get it. All right, folks, 10 minutes left. Get your questions in. If you want to drop something in the charity box for the Soulfish, you can do that too. But get your questions in. Speak now or forever hold your peace. What's the most money I've ever been tricked out of? Whenever Ameridebt was around, they got me for thousands of dollars. I spent thousands of dollars to clear up my credit score, and they never sent a dime off. I mean, I got a settlement there afterwards, but I think it was only for like $100. That was a real rip off there, and the way they ripped you off there is they put a lot of Christian crap in it there too. You know, those are some people that deserve to be beaten with a rubber hose, but. There's been other times I've been tricked. Everyone in life is going to be tricked out of their money. There's always going to be scam artists out there. I've made investments to where, you know, scam artists have ran off with my money. As recently as a couple of years ago. Got messed up with some cryptocurrency. I didn't lose much money, but, you know, and I also did the carrot bars thing a couple of years ago as well. Never got my gold or anything, you know. So there's going to be times in life where you're going to get ripped off there, you know. That's just part of life there, you know. I did a lot of research and everything like that, but even with such, you know, you never know, you know, you take that risk. The good thing is I've made a lot more money in investments than I've lost there. It's no different than a business here. With all the transactions that I do business-wise, there's always going to be ones that are going to come up to where they're fraudulent transactions. Yeah, you can still get bronchite and stuff there. It's pretty easy to do. There's not really any restrictions. You just got to ask for it and you got to be an adult. You don't need a prescription for that. No, there's no karaoke at the Swordfish. They will sing happy birthday to you or something. I went to ITT Technical Institute, which, yeah, it was a ripoff. It was deemed a scam. Lamar, I've never been a prostitute, so. Have I ever had an STD? Yeah, everyone has. But not in like 20 years or so. Like I said, when you are a young adult and you get sent out in the world, you know, some things actually, you know, you're not going to always make the right decisions there. Especially when you're drinking and doing drugs, you know. But no shame in admitting everyone is 90% of the population out there has caught some sort of STD or so forth. But what did I do when the great one got one? Go to urgent care. Pay $50. They give you a shot. Couple days, you're cool with it, you know. So sometimes you got to lean with it, rock with it, you know. No, Scatman. Not that. No, I've never had herpes. I will not name the STD, by the way, so don't ask. Have I ever done a 5K of anything? You need to be more specific. And you only have 5 minutes to be specific there. So. Well, yeah, that would cure crabs. As far as fitness is concerned, people are in it because they want to stay in shape. There, as far as fitness shows are concerned, you know, I mean, they appeal to the mainstream audience. Not sure what you mean, favorite band. I mean, I have a lot of favorite bands. No, I've never done a 5K run. I've done a walk actually for the March of Dimes. You know, a couple of times. Why would you drink almond milk anyway? Drink real milk. Almond milk is expensive there. Camping. I'll answer this for you, Scatman, since we're about to close out the show, but glamping isn't real camping. You may as well stay at home if you're going to be carrying all that stuff. In camping, you should have a tent, a radio, and somewhere to call back to in case here. By the way, on my new site, cellularcowboy.com, you can get the Tactic X phone. I'll be demonstrating that on my other YouTube channel I'll be building up, but oh well. Enough of that. Yes, Charlie, it is, but it's expensive, you know. Almond milk is expensive. There's a lot better alternatives there, like skim milk, for example. If you want to bring lube along while you're camping, you're more than welcome to, Scatman. Oh boy. You people are crazy tonight. Yeah, I don't see why someone would drink almond milk for. I really don't. Yeah, that's why I have that water dispenser, water filtration system in my house here. I love water. I drink a lot of water. Water is good for you. It keeps your skin clean, keeps you hydrated when you're drinking a bunch. What's the most disgusting thing? The worst thing he said to me is the part where I was bred for eating chicken wings and stuff. But I think he said a lot of awful things to other people, especially to Brad and Big Lenny. No, I'm not a doomsday prepper. If a nuclear bomb happens, I'd rather get burned up than to be around in the aftermath. So, what I would do if a nuclear bomb went off, I would go out and do this here, like, take me! You don't want to live through a nuclear fallout, you know. Yes, I do have an emergency backpack in case things happen, you know. Yeah, prags and black guys choosing up. I mean, you only run into that with in a prison or so forth. It's a lot more rare now than before because there's a lot more rules. There's a lot more monitoring stuff. So still happens, but you know it's very rare at this point. Well, Charlie, I already have bulk oatmeal and bulk rice, so. We can't do any more Sanford and Son. Got busted for that, as well as anything else. Yes, sir. Well, Jay Masters is going to be Jay Masters, but his ban should be lifted pretty soon. And he'll be back doing live streams. As long as he keeps his mouth shut. Because like I said, YouTube is cracking down on everything. I'm a spoon, fork, and knife guy. I'm a very formal person. Can't do that, Charlie. Copyrights. Well, folks, it is midnight. Y'all know what that means. The midnight run is now closed again for another great Friday. Do want to thank Scatman and the Vegan Games person for donating. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Let's do it again Tuesday for Earl Grey Tuesday. Don't forget, okay? You folks have a good night. And as always,